Hi, Charlie Kosorik, Jack Bench Woodworking, and today I am honored to be on location with my friend Matt Cremona at his shop.
Hi, Matt. Here.
Thanks so much for having me over for the interview.
Well, you kind of force yourself.
Well, yeah, I'm that kind of guy. Yeah, sure. So anyway, today what we're hoping to do is I want to do an interview with Matt. Matt hardly needs no introduction to most of you. I mean, he's pretty well known out on YouTube and on the internet, and rightly so. He should be. He's got a lot to offer. But I wanted to hopefully talk about some things that haven't been covered, if there is such a thing. And then later on, we want to do a little walk around in Matt's shop. That'll be a separate video. But for now, let's just get into it.
Okay.
All right. So, Matt, I haven't watched all 90 videos, is it, that you've got out there? How many videos do you have out there?
Including my shop updates, I'm at 181.
Okay, I have not watched all 181 of your videos. So there's a chance that
I would expect that. So
there's a chance that you may have covered some of this already. But I do remember watching one of your videos, and you were talking about how you were raised with the metric system. So that lends me to believe that, gee, maybe Matt wasn't raised here in Minneapolis. So you want to talk a little bit about your background?
Yeah, sure. So I was born in Toronto, and I actually grew up just outside of Toronto in a town called Alliston, about an hour north of Toronto. Mm-hmm. And I was there until I completed 6th grade there, so I had like my whole base elementary school there in Canada, so that system was a little bit different as far as the education system went. Mm-hmm. So obviously it was a metric system, so that was probably where you're getting at, but yeah. A lot of things were a lot different. There was a lot more focus on science, math, more than anything else. Mm-hmm. And so when I came to the States, it was a little bit of a different experience as far as getting used to what was more focused on. So I took an English class in 7th grade. I'm like, there's different kinds of sentences, call things, there's tenses. I'm like, I don't know any of this stuff. I could write things, but I didn't have the application of all this technical stuff with writing.
Okay.
Here's how you can diagram a sentence. I'm like, that's a thing? Why would you ever want to do that? So regardless, it was interesting in a sense, but everyone in the class is like, yeah, I've been doing this for a while. I'm like, I've never seen this before in my life. So anyway, with the metric system, that continued in the States as well, because they try to teach that in science classes. So your science classes are always in metric.
So you had a leg up on the other kids.
Yeah, they had no idea what was going on. But I'm like, I got to do is move a decimal. It's not that hard, right? But so that was where that came from. But the reason that I went to imperial measurements, primarily in my work, is just because of the challenge. Mm-hmm. It's a lot more challenging, at least initially, to use fractions than it is to use decimals. And as I was getting into this, I'm like, I liked the challenge of it, and I also liked the brain teaser kind of way about it. So it was kind of fun to be like, I can learn fractions in an application like this and be a heck of a lot better at fractions than I ever was in my life before doing woodworking like this. And it's just become second nature now. Okay. Which is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it works, and obviously it works well for you. So you started out in Toronto, and you came then to Minneapolis?
No, I moved to Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Okay.
And then I moved to Minneapolis in 2011 because my wife went to law school here.
Ah, okay. And you went to school in Wisconsin, college in Wisconsin?
I went to La Crosse.
All right. Okay. Yep. And you studied woodworking?
I did not.
No, I knew that.
No, I started off as a biology major, and then after 2 years, I changed to a finance major, an information systems minor, and a photography minor. Okay.
So let me get that. Biology, information systems, photography.
It was biology, and then I dropped biology. I went to finance, information systems, and photography.
Okay. Well, the information systems and photography fit pretty well with what you're doing now.
Yeah, somewhat.
Somewhat, I would hope. And you actually worked in the IT field for a while, didn't you?
Yep, I worked at a software startup for about 5 years.
Okay. And you were writing code?
Nope, I didn't write any code. Well, I did some wireframing code or just pseudo coding just so I can get my ideas across to the developers. But most of my work was in UI design, customer experience, and overall business strategy.
Okay. All right. Good. Yeah. Good. All right. Excellent. So then the software field didn't work out too well. The company downsized or something to that effect,
Exactly.
and you decided I'm going to be a woodworker after a trip to IKEA.
Yeah, I guess. So that was kind of overlapping. So the trip to IKEA when I started woodworking was in 2008, and I was still in college then. And that's when I started woodworking. So I was like, I could probably make some stuff like this. That's probably better quality. It's going to last a little longer.
Sure.
To, impress my lady friend. Which
that's what it's all about.
I got bae with her now, so. And
it worked.
So, yeah, I know it definitely worked for sure. Tips, okay. There's a hot tip. It really works. So I started woodworking as a hobby, as something for fun, and it just kind of grew over the years. And then when my company downsized, I was already a year into making online content.
Okay.
So I was like, well, I could go back to work doing that kind of stuff again. I did the whole job hunting thing, which is terrible and really boring and annoying, and it's just painful. It's a painful experience.
Right.
But then after a couple of months of that, I'm like, I wonder if I can have a go at this online content thing and make that my career. So with a very supporting wife, that's kind of where I jumped into it in March when I officially jumped into the online thing as a full-time official content creator. So
just March of this year, of 15?
Yeah, still 15. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, you've done remarkably well since March.
It's a lot of work. Yeah.
Well, and I've just gotten into the YouTube videos and the online, not to an extent that Matt's doing, but I'm doing some of that myself, and I can attest that yes, it's a lot more work, a lot more involved to it than it looks like. But just the same, you make it look easy.
Oh well,
No, seriously, you do. And it's funny because I saw one of your, I don't know what it was, the brain pick or one of the ones, and you were talking about how initially when you first got going at this, you didn't think it was good enough, and you didn't. You were kind of, what were you, like, camera shy?
Or, yeah.
Yeah.
This would not be happening right now.
Yeah. And you're a natural. You're a natural.
I don't know if it's a natural. It's more of like a evolved natural in that sense, because it took a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you make it look easy. So okay. Well, and that brings us kind of sort of up to today. So here we are today, and now things from some of the things that you've told me about, it sounds like things are really starting to happen for you.
Yeah, it's been quite the last few months, really. It's been like just taken off with the growth and the opportunities that I have with all the things I'm working on.
Right.
It's been really interesting.
So you're working with Marc Spagnola, Wood Whisperer.
Yep.
And tell us a little bit about that.
That's a great experience. So when Marc approached me, I was already planning on doing paid content or doing the classes content thing. And he approached me. He's like, would you be interested in doing a project for me in the guild? I'm like, that sounds awesome.
The Wood Whisperers Guild.
Yeah, in his guild. And I was like, that's pretty good timing because I was planning on starting this transition now anyway. Right. So I'm like, why not? Because he already has an audience, and I already know the quality that he would expect from me. Right. So it's also like it's bittersweet in a sense, because I know he's holding me to a higher standard that hopefully I can still get to that standard, right? So it's keeping it very interesting for me in the production side, which is good. Which is good. I don't have just myself to own up to, in a sense. Right. Which my standards for myself are pretty high, but sometimes I can let things slide because I don't see things because I'm blinded by my own bias. Sure. Right. But I know that now that someone else is looking at it, and it's something, and regardless of that, the whole intent here was to sell people these videos. So I'm asking people to pay money for videos, so it better be good. It has to be really good content. Right. It has to be perfect. Nothing can be out of focus. Stuff like that. People have to be able to hear what you're saying, and you have to be able to explain things well. So it's a whole nother standard of quality beyond the stuff that people have seen me do already. Right.
And I have no doubt that you'll be successful and good at it, because I've seen the stuff that you've done already, and you're a quick study. And no, seriously, I mean, I personally, I have a lot of confidence in that you'd be able to rise to that level, and obviously Marc does, or he wouldn't have asked you. And actually, this is already happening. Your online class is already available. People are already watching you build this table over here.
Plus, on pre-order right now.
Okay.
But the videos will start going out as soon as I start getting them done. So we're planning at the very latest to have it start going to the site in February.
Okay. So that's like 6 weeks
Yep.
or less.
Or less, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Maybe sooner. If I get some of the if I start getting the videos put together, they'll go out sooner on the site.
well, that's pretty exciting.
But at the very latest, they'll go out in February.
Okay, well, Matt, I think that that stuff with Marc, those online classes, it just sounds terrific.
Thank you.
And like I said, I'm sure you'll be very good at it. And I encourage absolutely everyone to go out there to Wood Whisperer site and check it out, because you got gold here. It's gold.
I'm glad you think so.
I honestly, I mean, I'm quite serious. I really do have confidence in you in that. Matt, this has been a lot of fun. I'm sure glad that you, invited me over here for this, and I enjoyed it. I hope people out there enjoyed this. And thank you so much for watching. Like I said, we're going to do a walkabout here in Matt's shop. We'll show you some of these things. And he's got this giant beam saw, and he told me to let me use it. So I got to check that out. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Please subscribe to Jack Bench, subscribe to Matt's channel, check out some of his videos, and thanks a million, Matt.
Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for watching.